Hi, welcome. You must be new around here, right? Or at least new to my radar, which, to be fair, isn't the most reliable piece of equipment. But don't worry, I have a foolproof system for recognizing first-timers. It's less about actual recognition and more about a general sense of, I haven't seen that face glued to a laptop for the last 8 hours straight. It's very scientific, you understand. Go on, take a seat, anywhere you like. That plush armchair by the window is usually a pretty hot commodity. But it looks gloriously empty at the moment. Almost like it's been waiting, just for you. No rush whatsoever. This isn't one of those soulless grab-and-go establishments where people shove you out the door the second you audibly finish your last sip. No. Here we run on café time, which is an entirely made-up concept based purely on the overall feeling of the universe in this particular moment, plus or minus 10 minutes. But it's surprisingly accurate, most of the time at least. So, what's it gonna be? The usual first-timer order is a latte, purely for research purposes, I assume. But we have a whole menu of caffeinated and non-caffeinated delights. Coffee, tea, perhaps something a little more adventurous? Maybe something that requires so many modifications, a splash of this, a dusting of that, a whisper of something exotic, that it legally stops being coffee and enters a whole new realm of bespoke beverages. But there's no judgment here. Absolutely none. However, if your order takes longer to say than it does to drink, I will probably end up involuntarily raising an eyebrow or two. Oh, very good. Very good choice. Okay, coming right up. Oh. And we almost had a coffee casualty here. You saw nothing though. Absolutely nothing. This cup is completely fine. Not a single drop spilled. Just a little startled. A bit like me. My heart definitely did a little tap dance there. Anyway, one perfectly crafted drink, made with love, a sprinkle of caffeine-induced anxiety, and only one minor near disaster. Consider it part of the authentic cafe experience. Now, while you settle in, allow me to give you the grand tour of this place. So, over there, basking in the gentle lights, we have the bookshelf of good intentions. It's a veritable monument to procrastination. It's full of novels people swear they're going to devour cover to cover, but mostly just end up using as aesthetically pleasing backdrops for their perfectly filtered latte photos. On that spot by the window, bathed in sunlight, as I said, best seat in the house, officially. Unofficially, it's a constant battle for ownership. It's perfect for people watching. If you're into that sort of thing, you can write entire backstories for the passers-by. And also, pretty good place to contemplate life's big unsolvable questions. And tucked away in the corner over there, practically camouflaged by the overflowing plant stand, we have the regulars table. And let me tell you, this is a fascinating ecosystem. That's where I'm definitely 100% working on my groundbreaking, award-winning screenplay crowd usually sit. Plot twist, though, and this is a closely guarded secret. None of them are actually writing. Not a single word has been typed in weeks, possibly months. They are, however, champions of the art of staring dramatically at their laptops with a profound expression that suggests they're wrestling with the very essence of human existence. It's quite a performance, really. Oh, and this is a crucial piece of information. The most important rule of all. If you happen to grace us with your presence more than 3 times, and I sincerely hope you do, congratulations, you're officially a regular now. It's an unspoken agreement. But I will likely remember your order, even if my memory for names is, let's say, selective. I will definitely notice if you don't show up for a while, and I will be mildly offended in a very understated barista-esque way if you suddenly start frequenting other cafes. Not dramatically offended, mind you, just like, wounded in the deepest depths of my heart, because, my belief that this is the best cafe in the entire universe. There's something just undeniably special about cafes, isn't there? It's like time itself decides to take a little breather in here. People walk in looking like they're carrying the entire weight of the world on their shoulders, their brows furrowed, their steps heavy. And yet, by the time they eventually leave, often hours later and several coffees deep, they're just a little lighter, a little more relaxed. Maybe even a tiny bit more optimistic. It's like this place has a subtle, magical effect. I once had a guy come in looking absolutely stressed out of his mind, like he'd just wrestled a bear and the bear had won. I remember he ordered a triple espresso, I think it was, the kind that could, jumpstart a small car. He sat down at the counter, stared intently at a particularly uninteresting patch of wall for a solid 10 minutes. I kid you not. Then he abruptly got up and walked straight out, without even touching his drink. I still think about him all the time. Did he suddenly find the elusive meaning of life etched into that beige wall? Did he manage to astral project to a more peaceful dimension? Or was he just really, really bad at making decisions under pressure? No, we may never know the truth to that particular caffeinated enigma. Then there's Margaret. Margaret, she's an absolute institution, one of our most beloved regulars. She orders the same exact thing every single day. A small black coffee, extra hot. But she insists, and she absolutely insists, each time on meticulously reading the entire menu, every single word, before finally looking up with a twinkle in her eye and saying in a perfectly predictable tone, "I'll just have my usual." She's adorable. She has such main character energy, You can just tell she's got a fascinating story to tell. Oh, and we mustn't forget the great pastry disaster of last month. It still gives me the occasional night sweat. See, every once in a blue moon I get this notion, this fleeting delusion perhaps, that I am a sophisticated, elegant person capable of effortless grace. And I know deep down I am, but surface level it doesn't seem to rise every day. Anyway, on that faithful day, I attempted one of those dramatic one-handed pastry flips. The cool, effortless way that seasoned baristas grab a delicate pastry with a pair of silver tongs and make the whole maneuver look utterly effortless. Like they were born with the pastry permanently attached to their fingertips. Yeah, it wasn't effortless for me. Not even remotely. It's actually the polar opposite of effortless. So the croissant on that day that I was giving this customer was a particularly flaky specimen. The croissant, not the customer. And it launched directly into the air with the trajectory of a rogue firework. I did a full majestic flip, and then in a moment of pure, unadulterated chaos, landed straight in someone's perfectly foamed cappuccino. The splash radius was impressive, at least. So what did I do? Well, I panicked, which, as it often does, only served to exacerbate the situation. Because instead of doing the sensible thing, like immediately apologizing profusely like a normal, functioning human being, I just froze. We both, myself and the poor unsuspecting cappuccino recipient, just stood there, locked in a silent moment of utter disbelief, staring at the soggy croissant bobbing gently in the milky foam, slowly processing the sheer absurdity of what had just transpired. The guy, though, is an absolute legend. After a beat of stunned silence, he just looked down at his now ruined beverage and goes, in the most wonderfully deadpanned way, "Well, I guess it's a dunking pastry now." And I, in my infinite wisdom and still operating on pure adrenaline and panic, replied, with the unwavering conviction of someone who has completely lost their mind, "Would you like a spoon with that?" The silence that followed could have been cut with a butter knife. I still cringe when I think about it. So yeah, I try very, very hard not to get fancy anymore. Just stick to what you know. That's my my new safe motto for now. You know what I genuinely love most about cafes, though? It's not the caffeine, although that's a definite perk. It's the stories. You know, the quiet, fleeting little moments that usually go completely unnoticed by the rest of the world. Like the elderly couple, for example, that come in every Sunday morning without fail, and always, without exception, shares one single blueberry muffin. They each take tiny, deliberate bites, lingering over every crumb. And their quiet companionship is just, it's the sweetest thing. Or the student who always, without fail, leaves a single untouched sugar packet meticulously placed on the edge of their table, like some kind of secret calling card or a tiny offering to the cafe gods. One time I was tidying up by the bookshelf of good intentions, and I found a note tucked into one of the books. Just a tiny, folded piece of paper, carefully placed between the pages of a well-worn novel. And naturally, my curiosity got the better of me. I carefully unfolded it, and it said, "May you, dear stranger, carry the knowledge that your unique spirit adds an irreplaceable melody to the symphony of existence. Your being is a gift." Just a small but incredibly thoughtful, anonymous act of kindness, left for a complete stranger to stumble upon. It's beautiful. That's the kind of thing, those little unexpected moments of human connection, that truly makes me love places like this. Oh, and I should probably give you fair warning, just so you're prepared. If you do decide to become one of our cherished regulars and hang around here long enough, you will eventually, and it's an absolute certainty, witness one of my infamous clumsy moments. It's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. It's inevitable, like the changing of the seasons or the universal craving for a second cup of coffee. I don't know, it's like gravity has developed a personal, rather intense vendetta specifically against me and anything I happen to be holding. In fact, just last week, in a moment of pure, unadulterated physical comedy, I managed to trip over absolutely nothing. The air itself, I swear, seemed to conspire against me, and I flung an entire tray laden with freshly washed, sparkling clean cups directly up into the air. And somehow, despite having what should have been ample time to react, I managed to catch exactly 0 of them. Not a single one. I had a grand total of 6 whole, perfectly good opportunities to redeem myself and failed spectacularly on every single one. The best part? Well, the best part, the truly cinematic element of this whole debacle, this all unfolded in complete and utter silence. Like a perfectly choreographed, albeit entirely unintentional slapstick routine, performed in slow motion for the benefit of precisely no one, or everyone here really. So, just a fair warning. If I ever hand you a drink with a deeply concerned, slightly panicked look plastered across my face, it's not because I've put the wrong milk in your latte. It's because I'm frantically calculating the precise statistical odds of me accidentally spilling anything within the next 5 seconds. It's a constant internal battle, I'll have you know. All right, I won't keep you any longer. I know you probably have important things to do, important stories to read, important walls to stare at, perhaps. Don't know. But yeah, you're absolutely welcome to stay here for as long as you like. It's really nice meeting you. And whether you need a quiet moment to gather your thoughts, a little bit of friendly, albeit slightly awkward company, or just another perfectly imperfect cup of whatever magical concoction is currently residing in that mug, I've most definitely got you covered. And hey, if you do decide to grace us again with your presence, and like I said, I truly hope you do, please don't be even remotely surprised if I remember your order. That's just part of the slightly obsessive charm of being a regular here. It's what we do. Enjoy.